Bandit country. That's what they call it. When civilization dims with the daylight and the gangs come out to play. From Castle Street, as you pass the Royal Infirmary and approach Glasgow Cathedral, the necropolis is visible on a low hill to the east. Gazing upon the tombs and monuments inspired by the Père Lachaise cemetery in Paris, you'd be comforted, reassured. Surely any city that honours its dead so grandly must treat its living with equal respect. A common misconception, but you'll learn. Castle Street joins High Street, which in turn leads to the Gallowgate, where they used to hang people for stealing potatoes and other heinous crimes. Here you might pause to say a prayer for all the poor souls who danced in mid-air, nooses around their necks, to entertain the crowds in the days before the pictures. If you're of a religious persuasion, and in Glasgow it's hard not to be, a certain flexibility is an advisable survival instinct. Staying true to your faith might get you killed when those age-old questions known to every child in the city ring out. What school did you go to? What team do you support? Or more bluntly, you a Billy or a Tim? A Billy being a Protestant and supporter of Rangers Football Club, and a Tim a Roman Catholic and fan of the rival Celtic FC. Part of the fun for the interrogator is not letting on which side they themselves favour. Of course, you might encounter a nutter who'll declare himself in the opposite camp to whatever you answer, just because he wants to hurt you. Turn onto Garngad or London Road, and you're entering areas patrolled by some of the biggest Catholic gangs in the East End. The Santoy, whose name comes from some obscure slang for boys. The Kent Star, from the teeming tenements of Kent Street. The Calton Entry, who ensure no one sets foot on Calton Street without their permission. And the Cheeky 40, who number more than 40, and whose idea of cheek is a slash across the face, not the sort of witticisms delivered by comedians at the Empire. A gala strut, a Celtic scarf and a half-decent selection of Irish rebel songs might help you navigate this fiefdom, if you hold your nerve. However, even if you do pass through unscathed to continue along London Road towards Main Street, you'll hear the drum of boots on cobblestones and the strains of a song that will chill your newfound Catholicism to its core. Hello, hello, we are the Belly Boys. Hello, hello, you'll know us by our noise. We're up to our knees in Fenian blood, surrender or you'll die, for we are the Brigton Belly Boys. Bridgeton Cross is the heartland of the Belly Boys, named after William of Orange, whose victory at the Battle of the Boyne in 1690 ensured Protestant rule in England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland. This is where you'll need the panache of a quick change artiste, tearing off the Celtic scarf before it becomes a noose, and whipping out a Rangers scarf or a sash of the Orange Order. Then a quick change back to the Celtic scarf as you encounter the Norman conks, self-styled conquerors of Norman Street, who have a penchant for pick shafts, in addition to the usual blades, hatchets, and sharpened bicycle chains. If you've made it this far unscathed, you're probably growing in confidence. But that would be rash, because after the conks, faiths jump back and forth with alarming alacrity. The Catholic Nunny Boys of Nuneaton Street, the Protestant Sally Boys of Salamanca Street, the Savoy Arcadians, Catholic, named after the row of shops they congregate outside on Savoy Street, the Baltic Fleet, Protestant, who patrolled Dalmarnock Road with the determination of the Great War naval convoys they take their name from. To stay safe, you have to switch religious allegiances with bewildering speed. Celtic, Rangers, Rangers, Celtic. God save the King, God bless the Pope. God, get me out of here. But continue along the Salt Market, cross over Albert Bridge into the Gorbals, and the religious divide becomes blurred in a melting pot of cultures, forced to live cheek by jowl by poverty, persecution, and political circumstance. The Gorbals gangs are composed of Catholics, Protestants, and Jews, so religious beliefs give way to blunter interrogations, such as, "Who are you? Where'd you come from?" and "Who are you looking at?" The Beehive Boys view themselves as the aristocrats of this underworld, connoisseurs of housebreaking and armed robbery. The South Side Stickers are content to booze, brawl, and stick a knife in you, while the Nudie Boys of Matheson Street, if they lived up to their name and braved Scottish weather in the buff, should be the hardest gang in the city. In fact, they were once led by a short, bandy-legged 17-year-old named Mary Mooney. And that's only 2 areas you've visited. What about the rest of the city? Plantation, Anderston, Govan, Kinning Park, Maryhill. Bandit country. Watch your step.